What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and this video I want to review The Last of Us Part 2. Now, I normally, over the last little while, I've been trying to do reviews on this channel. I don't normally do reviews for movies or games. I used to. I don't do it as much anymore, but I wanted to do it for The Last of Us. I have a lot of thoughts, so this is going to be spoiler-filled. I'm going to talk about a lot of different the main elements of this game, go through my thoughts of it. Now, I don't do ratings. I more or less just talk about it, talk about if I think this is a game worth getting, but really, this is just trying to put all my ideas, all of my thoughts on this game out to you guys. And I'm doing it on this channel. I know maybe it would have been done better on Podcast Now, but I wanted to try it here. So this game, I think, is heavily flawed. I will say this, having played it, so I knew the leaks. I saw the leaks when they first came out. I saw the bullet point leaks that, people were unsure of if they were not going to be true. I watched a lot of this game, or I saw like different clips of it when the cutscenes all came out, like a couple days before the game came out. Then I played it. Okay, so Sunday night, I finished the game. I played it. It took me around 23 hours to beat the entire game. I just played it on normal. I would maybe go back and play on a harder difficulty if I didn't have to play the Abby scenes. It's really a tale of two stories. It's truly that. I will tell you this. The direction they went is bold. It is absolutely bold in that way where you really have to think, like, why in God's name did they do something like that? I think the Ellie parts are phenomenal. I think if this game was only told with Ellie, this game would be a 10 out of 10. Now, again, I don't give game ratings, but literally just playing throughout this game, the Ellie scenes are really good. And I think some of the acting was kind of all over the place, not necessarily with Ellie or Ashley Johnson, but some of the acting just in general. But what I will say is every time I was with Ellie, I bought in. I completely bought in. Even Abby killing Joel and that entire thing, and Ellie going on her revenge quest, and her acting like a brat, and her acting the way she was because of just all the feelings she's had about the Fireflies, about what's happened in the past, all of that stuff. Did I love the way they made her character like that? Not necessarily, but I think it was necessary. Like, I understand why. She had a different viewpoint of going to that hospital in the first game than Joel did. Than maybe even us, the audience, because us, the audience, all we wanted with Joel, as Joel, was to protect her. So I think generally we follow or we relate to more what Joel went through, right? We kind of side with him, and I guess Ellie kind of putting up kind of like a fit because of it, kind of throughout the whole game, really makes her seem like a worse kind of person. Like we don't really like her as much. With that being said, I think she did a phenomenal job. And again, all the scenes with Ellie, I bought completely into it. I really did. I like the relationship with Dina. I like Jesse. I like the relationship there. I like the really twisted, messed up, thing that they had with Joel and Ellie. Joel and Ellie obviously went through a lot of different stuff in those years, and I loved. All of those scenes were amazing. The Abby stuff just flat out, I think, did not work. They tried. They absolutely tried. You cannot fault them for trying, but why did they have to do it? Why? Why did we have to play? Now, again, what I've said numerous times, and I will make videos on this, how to fix this game. Is there a way of making Abby be good? I think, again, they tried it, especially with Lev and Yara. They really tried to make Abby be a good person, and I understand it. At the same time, you also have other characters constantly telling her how bad of a person she is, or how bad of a group of people they are with. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to go for a character that killed, your favorite character, maybe besides Ellie, killed her, or killed Joel, so you automatically don't love her. And again, they try to make you like her because she's trying to redeem herself, but it makes it very clear that she's only really trying to redeem herself because she feels she needs it, because she feels guilty, because the Joel thing didn't really work. You know what I mean? Like, she's still kind of haunted. She still doesn't feel like a great person because of it. You know what I mean? She's having trouble moving on from it. So even while they're trying to do things that are like, okay, I see the human side of her. I see why she, because again, they were trying to show why she would do something like that. You have to justify, I think, to us, the audience, why she would go after Joel, why she would end up fighting Ellie and almost beating Ellie, right? You have to show that throughout the game, and I think they did try to show that, but again, at the same time, you're telling us how awful of a person she is. So how am I really supposed to like her or relate to her or anything? And especially how you're supposed to relate to somebody like Abby in more than one way, and I'm not going to get into that, but I think you guys can maybe get a hint of what I'm talking about. How can you do that? You know what I mean? At the same time, again, this game really is divided with me. Like, it's more divided now that I've played it than when I watched it. I think this game has so many strong things. The gameplay is I love it. I love it so much. It's so real. It's so brutal. It's so dark. It's amazing. I mean, I love going around finding things. The stories they tell through, reading things is still really, really good. Like, I like using all of every single weapon that both Abby and Ellie gets, all of it. From going like crouching to proning to all the different stuff that you can do in this game is absolutely incredible. Now, do I love it more as Ellie? Yeah, I do. I prefer the Ellie stuff over Abby. It's funny because the Abby stuff, I feel like they tried to give her more actiony, more kind of fun things to do, so that maybe you felt more like you were enjoying your time more, which I did enjoy some of it. I mean, the lab kind of thing, or like when you go into the bottom floor of the hospital, like that was kind of cool. The as soon as you leave the base and you get attacked by all like the horses and the Seraphites, like that's really cool. The entire battle between the WLFs and the Seraphites, I mean, that's an amazing spectacle, basically, right? I mean, the game is nothing short of amazing in that way. Graphics, what they're trying to do, like the environment, the gameplay, all that stuff is absolutely amazing. The biggest problems with this game is the switch, is making you switch to Abby and going through 10 hours of just not, like, it really kills the flow of this game. I think that's the best way of saying it. Playing as Abby, even though they're trying to justify, and even though I didn't hate all the scene, like, eventually you're like, okay, I don't like her, and then if I died by accident, I would laugh. I'd be like, yeah, that's what she gets. You know what I mean? Like, I would make fun of her. I would be happy if I actually messed up and she died. But it's not like I put my controller down and I was like, nope, I'm not going to play this. At some point, you're playing a game, you're just going to keep going. You know what I mean? So you're just going to, you may not like playing as Abby, but you're obviously going to do the scenes. And again, they did try to give relationships with other characters. I didn't like the Owen thing with her. I thought that was dumb. The Yara Lev thing, I like that. I like their story. The SJW stuff was not pushed as much in this game as anybody made it out to be. Okay, it really wasn't. Was there some in there? Yes. Did they go too far in some regards? Yes, but not really. I mean, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Even like Dina and Ellie, completely cool. Again, I really like the relationship between Dina and Ellie. I liked a lot of the characters in this game, just not Abby. So the switch was a really, really big thing that I did not like. And then the ending, like, again, after playing it, after understanding why Ellie would do something like let Abby go, right? Well, basically flashing back to Joel and saying, okay, I was willing to forgive him for everything that he did. It's time to do that with Abby, and I've already lost everything. Everybody's left me. Now, again, whether or not Ellie can kind of reconvene with them, right, go back to Jackson and say, okay, Dina, I'm sorry. Like, I know what's important. Now I'm going to go with you. Like that could still possibly happen, but the fact that she let Abby go, I get it. At the same time, it's absolutely just not what people wanted, right? And I think you kind of, it's tough because you do have to read the room, and you do have to understand, like, people want her gone, and people would want Ellie to win. People would want Ellie to beat her. Fighting Ellie was just not, I did not like it at all. I mean, it was like the David fight, but a lot smarter. Like, Ellie was much, much smarter, which I did appreciate. Like, the way they did it was fine, but the fact that you have to go after Ellie and you beat her basically to death, it's just not something anybody wants to do. That's another thing. That's one of my biggest things is, again, depending on how they would have done this in terms of timeline, I do think there's a way to completely justify why Abby did this, which, again, that's another part. Ellie's doing bad things when you're playing as her. Killing Mel and Owen probably wasn't right. Killing Nora in the way she did it. Like, she feels regret, and you also know she doesn't want to do these things, but you're a bad person. You're doing bad things when you're playing as Ellie. You didn't need to show Abby, you know what I mean? Like, they showed Abby's point of view to show why she is going to kill these characters later, why she wants them dead, stuff like, and also just to kind of give her more, again, like, basically humanize her more, right? But you didn't necessarily, but if you didn't have Abby, you wouldn't need to have done that. You're doing bad things as Ellie. And then again, like, if they did the flashbacks with the dad, if they did the lead up to Joel killing the dad, they could have made Abby killing Joel justified, and it kind of already is, because, again, as I've said numerous times, I like the idea that Joel does something in the first game. He's killed hundreds of people, and all of a sudden one of them has a connection to somebody else, and that eventually bites Joel in the future. I love that concept. Something that small could definitely happen, so I believe it. But if they want to really make her a human that I care about, have us play as her first and get to Joel. That's my way of fixing that part. The going after Ellie thing, I just really don't know how I would have done that, because the only way to do it is to really make Ellie feel bad, like a bad person, like evil, like the antagonist, and Abby be the protagonist, and they just did not pull that off in the 10 hours you're playing as Abby. I still didn't like her. I didn't relate to her. I didn't recognize her as a good person, as a protagonist, as someone who I wanted to win. I didn't want her to win the battle she was fighting. I wanted Tommy to snipe her and Manny. I didn't want her to win, you know what I mean? And then also with Ellie in the Ellie fight, I didn't want to take out Ellie. Now, it's a very difficult thing. We spent an entire first game with Ellie. How could you want, how would you change it so much where all of a sudden you hate Ellie and you want to take her out? It would be very difficult, and I don't know if the game was even going for that. I feel like it had to have been, though, and it failed. I think it absolutely failed at doing that, and that is one of my biggest problems with the game, is it did not make me feel like Abby. I guess I understand why Abby did it, but I didn't hate Ellie. Because I understand where Ellie's coming from. The problem with this game, doing the two dueling storylines, is I guess you can feel bad for Abby if you want to, but you understand why Ellie did it in the same way you understand why Abby did certain things. Again, I understand why she killed Joel. Does it suck that she killed our favorite character? Yeah. And is the big problem with it is that she killed him and then you have to play as her? That's the big problem. I don't know if you people have a problem with her killing Joel. I don't know. I mean, again, I think it's possible in this world. I think it's something that could happen, and I'm fine with it. But the way they try and do it is, well, this person's justified for this reason, this person's justified for that reason, but then they have to kind of switch that up. So it's messy. It's a messy story. I think that's the best way of saying it. The Ellie scenes are still amazing. When you switch back as Ellie and you do the farm and you go to Santa Barbara, those are amazing. I love those scenes. They're amazing. The fights, the different maps that you participate in, they are so good. The game is flawed, but it is not a terrible game. I really don't think that. They made some really bad story decisions that definitely hurt it. So if I were to rate it, and again, I don't rate it, I would give it a 6 or 7. I think it would fall in that category because the Ellie scenes are incredible. They're amazing. I love it. The story elements of Abby are bad. The playing as, I guess both of them even, are great. Even the Abby playing as her, I mean, she's a big person, right? She can really, I had fun beating people to a pulp with Abby, okay? So the gameplay is fine. So I think really everything but the switch, the being shaky on playing as Abby, definitely playing as Abby after killing Joel, but even her killing Joel and then her going after Ellie, and obviously the ending is making its mark on some people. Those are the big things. It's really only 4 or 5 things, and yes, those are massive, and that's why I would not say this game is a masterpiece. I wouldn't say this game is perfect. This game is bold. This game is going to divide a lot of people. I think this game has a right to exist, and I'll be honest, I do want to see where it would go for a third game. Do I trust them? Not really. Am I going to give them blind faith? No, absolutely not. But I do want to see where this is going, okay? So I think that's pretty much all. I'm sure I could talk about this game for a couple hours with you guys, but I should probably wrap it up. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think? What would you give The Last of Us Part 2? Have you beaten it? What do you think about the certain, big points of the game? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up, and I do a new video on this channel every single day. I'm going to do more Last of Us Part 2 videos as well. We're going to do some news videos too. We're going to kind of sprinkle them here and there, so you guys can expect a nice variety of videos on this channel, okay? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.